Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world.
Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Our next guest is the lens queen who can make anything look like it belongs in a glossy gallery. Based in Chicago, but has an international reach. Her award winning photography has graced the pages of Communication Arts, Architectural Digest, Forbes, and the Chicago Tribune. She has photographed Muhammad Ali, Julie Andrews, and US presidents. From sports champs to skyscrapers, from abstract art to unforgettable portraits. She doesn't just take photos, she paints with light. Her signature? Experimentation. Think layered images, digital artistry, and composition so striking they demand a double take with exhibits from New York to Paris and accolades from Kodak to Fulbright. She proves she's not just capturing moments that tell a story, she's creating visual poetry. Her work isn't about decoration, it's about evoking memory, identity, and spirit. Simply put, our next guest's camera doesn't just click, it enchants. Please help cue the spotlight and roll out that red carpet for Karen I. Hirsch. Welcome, Karen.
Thanks, Angel. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Good. I'm excited to have you. So, something had to happen in your life to pick up that camera and to become the entrepreneur you are and take all of these amazing photographs. Do you mind sharing with us what happened?
Not at all. Well, I happen to be a foreign language major in school, and I went on the junior year abroad program with the University of Illinois. And the weekend before I left, I bought a camera and didn't know how to use it. So I joined a camera club in Rouen, which is this town in Normandy where I was living. And I learned photography through that camera club. I also learned my a language better, the French, and also a universal language of visuals.
That is amazing. So, okay, how many language do you speak today? I have to know that first off.
French, Spanish, I could read Italian somewhat, and I mean, English, of course.
That's amazing. I can barely speak English, I think, sometimes. Well, much less read it. You know how that is, you know? So, all right. So you took the camera, you learned the camera, you learned different languages, and you traveled internationally. But how did it become that you actually picked up the camera and made it your career?
Well, and that's a long story. Okay, I enjoyed uh, taking pictures, and people seemed to like what I did. When I went back to school at the University of Illinois, I joined the student newspaper, the Daily Illini, and was a photographer there. Then in the next year in grad school, I was the first time exchange teacher with the University of Barcelona. And so I went there and I met the person who had the only gallery that was dedicated to photography in Barcelona, well, in Spain. And so he was going to start a workshop and he kept on delaying it. So I ended up at the end of my time teaching, I stayed in Spain and I took his workshop. Then when I came back to the States, I went to the Sun Times and I showed my work, and the editor there, the main editor, said that my work was too poetic and I should go do hard news in the suburbs. But then I showed my work to the travel editor, and he said, "Can you write?" And I said, "Yeah, I can write." He said, "Well, write a story about these photos." And I did, and it made the first page of the travel section. So that's how I got started. I mean, but it wasn't my main job. It was just something that I was doing, and I worked in advertising. That was my way of making money.
So what brought you to making it a business then? What brought you to where you're at now? Something had to click.
Well, wherever I worked, they knew that I liked photography, and so they would ask me to do cover events or do public relations for them, and I also studied film and video at Columbia College in Chicago at night school, and I had planned to become a producer, but that didn't work out, and I applied at an ad agency for Conan Belding, and they didn't have a space for me at the time. But a year and a half later, I got a call, and they said, "We've been looking for you." And they offered me either to be a photographer and editor of their magazine or be in their audiovisual area. And I chose to be the editor and their photographer. And so that's how I got started. I got wonderful experience through that because they threw everything at me from still life. I did presentations for like Kraft, uh, and I did their public relations. I worked with their annual report. I covered the building of FCB Center. So that was architecture. So I got a wonderful education on their dime. And so after being there, like, I don't know, 7 years or so, they cut out the magazine, and they said, "Well, we have to let you go with all these other people because we're cutting the budget." And I said, "But look, look at all these things that I'm doing with photography." And the president said, "Well, yeah." I said, "Well, why don't I become an independent contractor and stay here?" And that's what happened. And I was there another 8 years. And after I had the same office, which was built for me when they built this building. And it happened to be the largest one on the floor. And then they merged with another company, and I was squeezed out of my space. So then I went off on my own.
That's
So,
amazing. That
yeah,
is an amazing story. Oh my god. From the way you learned everything, and I love the fact that so as an entrepreneur, it takes everything that you go through to build upon that to become who you are. And that is
exactly.
exactly yeah,
Right.
I love that. I love the fact that everything collaged together and you just made it your own.
And it's still happening decades later.
That's good though.
Oh,
I
for
love
sure.
that. Yeah, it's never too late. That's the best thing about it. It's never too late as an entrepreneur, and it's never too early as an entrepreneur to start. It
Right.
takes time just to start. I love these 16-year-old girls that start becoming an entrepreneur at 16, and I'm like, "Oh, I only wish."
Yeah. It's amazing that they can do what they do.
So talking about the younger generation, what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self of some words of wisdom possibly?
Okay. Well, I would say to be proactive and go after what you want. Don't expect things just to come to you, which I was pretty idealistic and thought, oh, it will just happen. That's not how the world works. Took me a long time to realize that. Um, so go after, what you desire, and yes, stay idealistic, but have the courage to go out there, and also I would tell my 18-year-old self to save part of the money that you make and then invest in Apple.
Hello. Hello.
No, no, but no, I would say definitely you should put some money aside and start investing, because it's cumulative, and that helps when you are retirement age. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't realize when we're younger that we need to do that because no one taught us, number 1, and thank you for bringing that up because that is something that we all need to know, and we because what happens when you get older, guess what? You need to have something to lean on, even in not even as you get older, but even as you're growing your business. You need to definitely sit there and have something on the side because something's going to come up and you're going to need it or you're going to want it to expand your business. And if it's not there, you can't do it or you get into debt, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's it. All right, let's talk about a game changer. What's like something like a decision or habit or something that you did that took your business to the next level?
Well, I would go back to going off on my own after working at the ad agency. Uh, I had to learn how to run a business because before that, you know, I did my work, but I didn't have to worry about jobs and marketing and all the kinds of things that you need to run a business. And so I took a class at the Women's Development Center in Chicago, which is small business administration. Um, and, you know, I just had to be open to a lot of new things. So that was a game changer.
Mm. I love the fact that whenever you needed to learn something new, you found a way to make that happen and to discover new ways to learn what you didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be flexible, you have to be open, especially in my field. A huge difference was when uh, photography went from film to digital, and trying to learn that was amazing. It took a lot of hours of learning. I went to classes, and that helped. And then later I was able to turn it around, and I spearheaded that with my photo group, and I taught them what I had learned. So
Oh,
that
that's
was,
great.
that was, something that I enjoy doing.
So do you mind telling us a little bit about the photo group that you do, if you don't mind? You've
Oh,
said it in a
sure.
few
I
words,
could
so
go on for hours about that. It's called Fourth Dearborn Chicago Photo Forum. It's historic. We traced our history back to 1886. So, you know, photography wasn't long in the making before that. And the who's who of photography either passed through our doors or contributed to our salons, uh, including people may know Ansel Adams. He talked at our group. There's a New York photographer, Jay Maisel, who came in for our 100th anniversary as our keynote speaker. Um, and it's an educational program, or it's an educational community, not for profit. And we teach people photography. We talk about what's new, and we share our work, and we have competitions, and we bring in 3 judges who judge the work. So it's not just one person's opinion, and it's a great way to learn, and it inspires you to go out and make more work, which is important for growing and learning.
yeah, that is amazing. I'm like, I can picture you doing that. You light up when you talk about it. You're like, "Oh."
Yeah. Well, I'm co-president right now, so
Yay!
yeah.
And it's based in Chicago, is that
It's
right?
in
Or is it
Chicago. Yeah.
okay.
It actually we spent years at the Art Institute of Chicago when the Art Institute was pretty new at the time. And the first salon was in 1900, and Alfred Stieglitz met Edward Steichen, who are two photographers who contributed to American history of photography. And also they helped bring up the status of photography because they started a gallery in New York, um, and they included photography, uh, and they had photography next to paintings. Now, people may know Georgia O'Keeffe was the girlfriend or wife of Alfred Stieglitz. So, you know, photography may have been next to her paintings. So, you know, it made a huge difference. And it's because, I mean, they met because of our own salon. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool. That is
Yeah.
cool, and I feel like I'm getting an education on photography and artwork that I definitely have no idea about, so I am so intrigued.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right. So being in the entrepreneurial space and seeing people, I mean, you have tons of photographers, there are lots of entrepreneurs, lots of, you run across them every single day. What is one of the myths that you wish that they would stop believing and kick it to the curb?
I would say the myth that you can do it all by yourself. Um, you need to get advice from others, more experienced people. Um, you know, the superwoman to it's just exhausting and it's not necessary. Great businesses and great art are a collaboration. You learn from others, and yeah, I mean, artists will look at other artists' work to see, you know, and get inspired that way. So, but it's not just the art; it's, you know, everything. It's so much harder to learn it all by yourself.
So you just talked about the superwoman. That is so true. We do that. So the question is how do you, or what is a tip you can give to everyone about balancing business with a personal life and having one?
Well, it's not the easiest thing to do, that's for sure. Um, the thing is, perfectionists out there, which I'm included, you got to realize that you can't be perfect all the time in everything because it's just not going to happen. And don't feel guilty all the time, which is easy to do. So don't sweat the things that aren't important to you. Prioritize, and don't worry so much.
So you know what? That perfectionistic thing, I will tell you now, if I would have let that get in the way, I would never have done the magazine. I can tell you that now. Because I can tell you every magazine, I want to fix something in it. After it goes out, before it goes out, after it goes out. And I mean, it's just the way it is. There's going to be things that you're going to want to fix continually. And that I do it all the time. So I had to learn to say, okay, it's okay if it's not totally all right. I get it.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've had to do that. I mean, that's why I mean, I don't know about you, but if I take pictures, and I'm such an amateur, um, I take 100 of them so I can get one, at least one that I love. You probably can look at it and go, "Oh, that's the perfect thing." Snap. I can just see you doing it. It's just perfect.
Well, got a secret for you. It's not,
We got a
you just
secret. You
don't
give us
take
a
one,
secret?
but you do choose what is the best. That you can do.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can do. I'll probably have to take 1,000 to get the one that I like.
Now, even the top photographers will take many in order to get the one. And people don't realize that because they're not showing the many, they're showing the one that came out great.
I
But
like
you
that.
have to have taken it or made it, or you know, in order to show
That's why everybody takes so many selfies
it.
to get the right one.
Right.
Oh, all right. What would you say to somebody who's standing on the edge saying, I think I want to start my business? And let's just narrow it down if you don't mind, because I don't get to have somebody like you on here. So let's narrow it down. What if they're a photographer and they know they should be out on their own? What would you tell them?
Well, I'd say, as I said before, you need to study what others have done, those who are successful. I also would say you have to have more than the one skill to be successful. Um, you have to know business. I mean, that's quite important. There's accounting, there's marketing, uh, and you know, people look at photographers, they think it's glamorous, but
It's
the
hard.
photography is the tip of the iceberg. You've got all this other part underneath that, you know, brings you up and makes you successful. And also, don't worry, like if you're doing something and it's not working out, then try something else. And one of the things I do is I photograph sailboat racing. And in sailboat racing, when the wind is coming at you, the boats cannot go straight to the wind. They have to tack. And just like that, in business, when things don't go right, you have to tack and try something else until it does work. So that's what I would say.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, you know it, and also with photography too. Try other things. You know, try writing that goes the stories that go with the pictures, or try video because video is just a lot of pictures. Uh, you know, in one package. So, and it's moving. So especially now, video is the thing. So,
Yeah, it is. It is. And they can actually take pictures from the video, correct? Now,
yeah,
can't they take like a
you
still
can.
shot from it?
You can
Yeah.
separate that out. You
Wow.
can mix still photos with video, like on Instagram, your reels. So it makes it interesting. It's attractive to people who are scrolling in Instagram.
Oh, wow. Are you good at that?
I'm
Because I'm
getting
not.
there. I'm still learning reels, carousels, which are that's blending the multiple photos and video, and then adding music or voiceover. Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah,
to do
I
more of
hire
that.
the 20-something-year-olds to do mine.
Oh,
I'm like, "I'll have to hire that." That's a delegated thing, like you said, you can't do it all.
right.
I definitely that's one thing I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that." All right. What about a sneak peek into what's going on with you? Do you mind telling us about any things that are happening?
Oh, okay. Well, right now as far as the overall picture, I'm um, building a bridge between fine art and the corporate world. So um, I'm outreaching to corporations to have my work, which would reflect their identity and their vision, make their clients uh, feel comfortable if, like at a hospital, if it's serene photos of nature, something like that, versus if they want their employees to be energized, to have brilliant abstracts with a lot of color. Um, so that's what I'm doing. And I'm also, I've been showing my work internationally. So I've had my work in galleries, and I went to Barcelona, uh, which at a gallery there that showed my work. And Um, right now, I have work being shown in Berlin, but yeah, and I just found out that I'll be having my work at the Carousel du Louvre, which is the shopping center adjacent to the Louvre in Paris. So I'm thrilled about that because that, I mean, one day maybe I could be in the Louvre, but but at least I'm getting close, so that's good.
That's amazing. That's exciting. When is that happening?
I think I think that's it in October. I have to send in my images, but I
Oh,
don't know the exact date.
oh, it's right here. It's knocking on the door. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we already have so many surprises for you, but I think that I mean you're a world traveler, you have a paintings being shown in Paris, on, and so many other amazing things. Is there something that you'd like to tell us that would surprise us a little bit about you?
That I'd like to tell you. No,
Well, I'm not going to force you.
which I'm forced to tell you.
I'm not going to twist your arm.
But basically, I'm a shy person, and people don't know that, or some people don't. And so when I'm behind the camera, I'm bold, and I can approach people. But when I'm in a crowd or group, I often retreat. And so photography has been a way for me to step forward without using words, and so it's my way of in being active and doing things and experiencing the world. Whereas without my camera, it's like my little shield, and I don't know if I'd be so bold.
I get it. I can relate to that in a different world. It's not being shy and go up and tell everybody hi underneath the world, but when I don't have dancing shoes on, I trip and fall. I'm clumsy.
Oh,
But if I have dancing shoes on, I don't do any of those things.
funny. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
funny. Well, there's a lot of comedians like Johnny Carson, who was said to be very private, but then
Yeah.
when he was on his TV show, he was wonderful, very clever.
Yeah.
So you never know.
You never know. I can just see you behind the camera and then giving so many directions. That was your production mode. You produce so much going on for people behind that camera. I can see that.
Yeah.
Mhm, definitely. All right. So give me a song or songs that you just love.
Well, what makes me feel pumped up is like "Don't Stop Believing,"
Ah,
uh, and it's timeless. It's optimistic. It's defiant, and just be persistent. Don't give up.
I love
And
it.
that's what I've done all my life. I just hang in there. I just trug along, and eventually things happen. So yeah.
That's it. What about a book? Do you mind telling us a book that you love?
A book that I love, or
Whatever book you want to tell us. It doesn't matter.
okay, well, I did like Don Quixote. I actually wrote a paper on it in school, because I just like the idealism of the main character. Um, and I mean, just looking at reality and idealism, I think you need to have a little bit of both in you. Um, so yeah, I would say that. He saw
Awesome.
the best in people. Like he saw there was a main character, a prostitute, and he just saw her as, a great madame, and he didn't perceive her like other people did. And
Oh,
I thought that was a nice quality.
that is good.
Yeah.
All right. What about a favorite quote?
It was something that my mom also believed in. It was, "To thine own self be true," and just, you know, trust your heart, and don't listen all the time to what other people think. Know what's right for yourself. And that, I think that's so important. People who might do a profession because their parents thought, oh, well, you should be a lawyer or a doctor. And if you're an artist, or whatever, and you want to pursue it, listen to your heart, because if you don't like what you're doing, that's that's most of your life, your profession. Yeah. On the other hand, be realistic, because you know sometimes being true to what you want to do, you also have to do other things, like actors who have to wait tables. Or I mean, you listen to these talk shows and you hear the celebrities saying what jobs they had, and everything from scooping ice cream to doing something in a factory, you know. So you have to realize that there are consequences too.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that, for the simple reason that, I mean, I know I've had 3 or 4 jobs at one time before,
Mm,
and a lot of entrepreneurs do that. We have multitudes of jobs or businesses to keep the money flow coming in, and
right,
people feel guilty doing that, but they shouldn't, because it's what gets them to where they need to be.
right.
Yeah. All right. Fun now, even more fun.
Okay,
I love this time.
more fun. Okay, good.
Superpower for just 24 hours, what would it be?
I'd want to fly. I'd love to fly, soar above everything, get a different perspective, uh, use a wider lens, and you know, just see the world in a different way.
Yeah.
And with my photography, a lot of times I'm trying to show others the world as I see it, and they may not see it the same way. So I'm like sharing my vision with them.
Yep. I love that. And that's it. You show the world. You fly and you do all your cameras and you make the gorgeous pictures and you show the world what they're missing sometimes.
Yeah,
Mhm. I love that. And even when you take pictures of other people, they don't see it in themselves. You see things in other people that they don't see. And when you show it to them, you bring it to light for them.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Thank you.
that's a big key to do. And I mean, everything you've done just blows me away. So, I wanna know what keeps you motivated.
Okay, well, what I really enjoy is uh, step away from the screens, and go out and be in nature, uh, be by the lake. 'Cause I live near the Lake Michigan. I'm in Chicago. Um, Go sailing. I like being on the water, and when you're on the water, you're away from everything. So that refreshes me. Um, and then I go to art exhibits, see what other people are doing, um, and you know, art begets art. You get inspired. So
You do.
yeah.
And that's another great tip for people. Guys, looking at what other people are doing in your industry helps you grow. Do you agree with that, Karen?
Oh yeah, for sure. You get
Yeah.
ideas. Yeah.
Mhm. All right. So what is the best way for our audience to stay connected with you?
Well, they can go to my website. It's my name, KarenIHirsch.com/visual art. And that's, yeah, they can see some of the things that I do, um, and they can contact me from there. Um, but I also have a special gift that I can give our audience. So it's 7 tips for choosing art. And it's, art that can transform your space. And so I will have to give you the link, and then later on, the audience can come to you and get it.
Yeah, we'll put it right in your article, and we'll put it right in your in the description of everything as well, just for them to grab right there. I'm so excited for you. So, okay, now I know you have some parting words for us to leave our audience with to encourage them to be who they are. Do you mind sharing?
No, sure. Well, I'd say you have the ability to succeed. Be proactive, continue to learn, and be willing to adapt. I mean, when something comes your way that seems like an obstacle, just kind of skirt it and go a different way. And then you have the power within you, so go for it.
I love that. Karen, thank you for being here today. You're truly amazing. I am blown away. All your travels, all your amazing things, and everything you've learned along the way. It's been great. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me so much. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.